Hello everyone, it's Hanny with my Junk Journal Embellishment challenge number 58. And the prompt is a rose, and I'm going to make a specimen card. That is a kind of card you put in pockets with a window in it. I looked for pictures with roses on it, and I had found a few, and rose stamps. And well, I thought it's a bit difficult because I want, if I have a window in my card, I want to be it double-sided, so you have something on both sides, not just a stamp, and then if you turn the specimen card, you don't have a picture but a white space. I don't like that. So well, I couldn't use those ones, so gone. And then I thought, well, I have a stamp, but I only have one. Maybe I could use this little card at the back. So you have, when you use a window in your specimen card, you have two sides. But yeah, and I had some faux stamps. Well, this was one stamp. I only had one, and I have these two. These are the same size, so I could use this one too. So I show you because it's a possibility. But then I got the idea of, oh, hey, when I have a sheet of laminate or whatever, something like this, you know, maybe I can stamp on it and then use this as a window. Well, this is ordinary laminate, acetate or something, not laminate, acetate. And then I stamped. Here is a stamp on laminate. I will put a white piece behind because this is the piece I'm going to use as my background. I made painted background, which I will use to make the card, specimen card. Put it aside now. And this is stamped a rose image just to try it out on this acetate. I stamped with Stazon and with Archival ink. Am I in frame? I am in frame. But then I discovered, well, this one and this one is Archival ink. They're not the best imprints, but I'll show you. I have a white baby wipe here, and when I do this, well, Archival ink, it's gone. Mostly, you see? But this Stazon stays on. I must do it very softly, because when I do it very hard, it will go anyway, maybe. I'm not sure. No, it stays put. It's going to be a bit paler, so I could use that. For example, this one. And when you have a card with a little square window, well, you could put this in, and you have a little rose on both sides. Then I thought, well, maybe I could emboss. So I stamped, I will cut this off. I stamped some embossing stamp. I have several stamps. Oh, is this one, I think? Yeah, this stamp. I stamped it on the same material, acetate, but then I have to heat it It was Stazon also, and this was Archibald ink. But it doesn't, well, when you heat it with your heat tool, well, it's getting bulky. You see, it's not, it's going to warp. So that didn't work. And then I thought, well, hey, let's use laminate. So I did it on laminate, and I thought it's sticky, so I wiped it out again, so it's not quite as dark anymore. I did it with gold. So I thought, let's try it on laminate. A laminate sheet. I will use this piece. This is the piece I used. I will, laminate paper is double, as you know. So I will cut this off. And just an example with gold embossing powder. I know you can stamp with black, stamp on it, and then put it together and then laminate it, and you have a beautiful stamp. But what is difficult with stamping, when you do it by hand, on those, well, maybe it goes well, but you could move a bit so it will shift. So I will try. I have Versamark. I could do a black one with Stazon, but I use Versamark now. So I didn't clean my stamp. That was a bit stupid, but it still works. So this is Versamark, and I will stamp on it like this. And if you stamp on acetate, well, you have to be careful because it will shift. On this it doesn't shift. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. And now I will put some embossing powder, Pirate Gold, from Stamp and Stuff. I will use. So I will put that on. Just like that. Now I'll put it in a jar again. And now I will heat it with my heat gun. And this is laminate. And why I did think of laminate, well, you have to heat laminate so it won't warp, I hope. Oh, I did touch it a bit. So I will heat it. And it looks, if it's warping, but that will go straight again. And you see that the glue that's on the laminate is melting. Oh. So now I have a beautiful print of a golden rose. It doesn't stick anymore. I don't know why, but if you think it's going to stick, well, you can wipe it off with a little wipe. Like so. It won't stick anymore. At least mine doesn't. And why I'm doing this at a single sheet, well, you see the embossing now. I don't know if you can see it. It's all very shiny. But I like this. And now I can cut it and use it in my window of my card. If I want to. You see? No. So what I can use is, where is the other one? Here it is. I could use this little rose on acetate. I could use this one, but I don't like that stamp very much. This one, it's okay for a little window. And I can, of course, take a sheet, not acetate, but a laminate sheet. I have little ones here. I will get one of those. I will open it and I will stamp. Well, which one will I use? I have several stamps. This one is a bit smaller. I can use this bunch to make a window. I can use this bunch for a window. And I can use this bunch if I want to. But you also can, when you have the card, just cut a window. So I will use Stazon to stamp on this laminate sheet. Don't shift, and because well, the glue is on here, it's a bit yeah, well, it doesn't shift that well. I hope this print is okay. Yes, it's a beautiful one. You see? Now I have, it has to dry a bit. I can dry it with my heat tool for a while, but I don't know if the laminate will pick up the ink this side before it's dry. Well, let's put it on very carefully. You see, it's a bit wet, still wet. So I will get my laminator and we'll put it through. So I got my laminator and it's hot. So I will try to push it through and see what happens. I didn't try this before. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Just wait and see. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. Oh, look at that. I love that. You see? That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'll push it through once again. Don't know why, but it's not necessary, I think. Just wait. Okay, like that. Well, let's cool it off, and I will put this away. And now I have a laminate rose. This is very secure. You can use all kinds of inks because the ink is trapped between those two sheets, so it doesn't do anything anymore. When you stamp on it, and I think you can use pigment inks too, they will be more clear, I think, I'm not sure. But I use Stazon, and that's waterproof ink. I do permanent ink, so you can't remove it with water. You can remove it with alcohol, I think, but not with water. And Argifal ink, I think that's waterproof too, it says, but well, I can wipe it off. So maybe it's the refill, I'm not sure. I used refill, and you can use, maybe you can use other inks, I don't know, but I recommend a waterproof ink. Maybe your Argifal ink is okay, but mine isn't. And with embossing, I use Versamark glue ink, or glue. Well, I have those 3 roses now. This one I just stamped it on, and the ink is on this side, and I think I can scratch it off, but I'm not sure. Well, it's, yeah, I can scratch it off a bit, so it's a bit vulnerable, but this is on acetate, this is not laminate, but you can use it if you want to. You can use it on laminate, and then, well, laminate, it's strapped between 2 pieces of well, acetate. I don't know what material this is, laminate stuff. And this is on laminate because I have 1/2 of laminate stuff. There's only, if you have laminate, only one side. And why I did that was because of the heat. Because normal acetate, you can't, this plastic, this acetate, you can't heat it up because it will wrinkle then. And this is so laminate paper and embossed, and I didn't double it this way because you can do that. Then this is strapped too between 2 sheets, but then you can't see the embossing anymore. This one is not embossed, of course. This is just well, the plain side, but this is embossed, and I like that. So those are the three roses I have, and now I'm going to use that of one of those in my specimen card, and maybe I will make 3 cards, I don't know. This is my sheet of painted paper, and I will cut a piece off, And I think I'm going to use this piece because I can stamp on it with a rose if I want to. I'm going to use a punch, but you can cut the window out, but you have to measure the size of your window. And like I said, I have this one, and I can use this rose is too big. I can use this rose with this punch, and I have this is a 2-inch punch, and I have a 2.5-inch punch, and I can use this rose with that. So I think I'm going to use 2 cards, and I could use this one, but then it's got too small. So this has to be a little window or a little circle. I'm going to use this one for the golden rose. This is 2.5 inch, so the card I'm going to make is wider. And I think it's going to be, well, let's measure it. 2.5. This is 2.5 inch, so I want, I think, 3.25, something like that. Just a punch width and a bit more, something like that. Yes, I'm measuring a bit odd, I know. But that's the way I work. So I will cut a piece off in about here. I think then it's big enough. And I will fold it. Well, this is something like there. I want a bit of room under it for a card or something like that. So the fold will be here. Well, I just fold it in half, I'm afraid, because I don't know if it's big enough. I will cut this piece off. I can use this thingy for that. And then I just cut it in half, fold it in half. Could score it first, but I try it this way. You see? So this is going to be my card. I will stamp on it with the rose stamp, and I used this stamp, I think. Oh, yes, I used this stamp, so I will stamp with this one. Just in black, Stazon. Oh, I should put the lid off because it doesn't work when I don't do that. And I just want to have a bit of stamping here and there. And on the other side, but it has to dry, or I can lay it flat, of course. Something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm going to dry that for a bit. Like so. I should put the lid on, because otherwise I'm drying my ink pad 2, something like that. And now I want to, what is the middle? This is 3 1/4. Yeah. And in centimeters it's 8. Well, it's 83 millimeters. So I will 4, and this is 4 and 3 and a half, 1.5. So this is the middle, and I will punch. Where is the middle? There is the middle. And I will punch a hole or 2 holes over there. That's going to be my window, and I have 2 beautiful circles left to play with later to make something else with that. So this is going to be my window, and I'm going to do the gold one in between. Yeah. Well, I don't like it that much. I think I like black more. So maybe I get this one. And I could use this one too. Something like that. Well, it doesn't matter very much. I like... Which one do I like more? This one or the gold one? Well, I could do the gold one, why not? I'm going to glue this on in the middle, so I have to cut a bit off. And I always glued it with glue, but I think I'm going to use strips now, if I can find them. My glue strips, my glue tape. Well, I did look everywhere, but I can't find my glue tape. So I decluttered my room, you know. And, well, I put it somewhere, but I don't know where. So I'm going to use my glue, my fabric glue, anyway. Just like so. And just do that with my finger. I should put something underneath it. Just this way. And then glue the rose on. Like so. Here is a bit of I should cut that off. So, and now I'm going to glue the whole thing. Like this. Just do it a bit with my finger again. Well, this is glue. When it's dry, it's transparent, so it's not a big deal. You won't see it. So, and now I will glue this on so the laminate sheet is between the two papers. You see, and it's on both sides now. So you have a card with a window, and I call it a specimen card. This is the embossed side, and this is the, well, the not embossed side. So we'll cut a little piece off here because it's not very straight. Maybe I should cut it with the scissors. Like that. Oh, it sticks to my fingers. So now I will round the corners. Because I like that. Did I do that? No. I have to stand up because of the force I can use, the gravity. So I like it with round corners. You don't see it very well. And now I want to ink the edges with some gathered twigs. This is like so. Turn it around. It's a bit wonky because it has to dry. It's not dry yet. So. And now I will glue something on here and on here. A number, a label, or whatever I can find. This is a bit dirty. Maybe I can clean it. Maybe it's glue, so it will dry transparent. So I have some numbers over here. I have this number. Oh, I like that. That's big enough. But I don't have many big numbers anymore. Not much. I have this one. I'm busy with my book of scraps, so I sorted out my papers a bit. So here I have papers with squares on it and lines, how do we call that? Like this too though, but they are not labels. Maybe some lines on it, some where you can write on. I have this one. I like that one. It's not wide enough, but well, I could use the number, something like that. And then the number over here, or over here. Yep. Like that. I'm sorry I'm not talking much. So I will glue this on. On this side. Yes, this is the embossed side. Like that. And the number next to it. Something like that. And on the other side I will glue this one. It doesn't have to be the same. This one I made myself with well, book pages and grid paper. Something like that. I have a video of that. I'll put a link over there. So, well, I think I'm ready now with my specimen card. I could sew around it if I want to. Maybe I will do that. Sewing around. It doesn't have to, of course, but I always like that. It gives you a border, but I could draw a border. I'm waiting till it's dry and then I will sew around it. I will clean up a bit. So I did sew around it. I didn't do a great job, but so this is my rose specimen card. And I'm going to make a little one too with this one. And I'll show you that card too. So I have another piece of painted paper. And I'm going to use this bunch. So the card is going to be something like this. Like that. Just eyeballing. There it is. And the height, well, this is going to be, well, something like this, I think. A bit smaller, something like this. Let's just fold it. cut it. And it's not very straight again. So, and now I'm going to, well, I have to measure the middle. It's in centimeters or in inches. It's 2 1/4, so 1 1/8, something like that. That's the middle. Have to line that up a bit. So I hope I do it correct. I can't see it. I think it's okay. Well, if it isn't, it isn't. It looks okay. So I have 2 squares. No, it's not 2 inches. Little squares. So this is the base of my specimen card. The glue. That's big enough. Yeah. This is the stamp I made on acetate, not on laminate sheet, but on acetate sheet. Or whatever plastic it is. So I'm going to glue that on here, something like that. That's beautiful enough. Now I'm going to glue this side because, well, if I do it on that, that side, maybe I shift the image again when I'm using my finger to spread the glue. And I want to spread it because when I don't, well, I will push it away, the glue. So that's it. It's not quite straight, but no, it's not straight. It's wonky. Well, maybe I can cut it straight again, a bit straighter. Well, it's a bit better now, but it's not that great. But it's good enough. And I will round the corners again. So this is a little card with a rose too. Yeah, I will round the corners. If I can. Oh. Oh. I won't sew around this one. I like this too. just getting a few numbers. No, maybe I could use those. I have more, but today I can't find anything. It's not my day, I think. It's good enough though. So I will glue that on. Just keep it simple. Oh. And this one over there. So keep it that way. No sewing. Well, I like this one. I'll get a piece of paper so you can see it better. This is the big one, a bit wonky. This is the embossing on a laminate sheet, a half of a laminate sheet, and this is a stamp, a Stazon stamp on just a single piece of acetate. Well, that's it. That's it. Two sides. One side embossed, one side it isn't. So, that was my rose card, of rose cards in this case. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.